Welcome to Teacher Kim's Music Companion. Today we're going to be talking about the assignment sheet. You'll notice the obvious name, dates, the level that they're studying, the age group that they are at. Here is the home study section, piano, theory, technique, and what I call Keith Snell, which is really, it's just the scale studies. These are the books. This particular sample is level 2. Level 2 is blue, except for the scale skills book. Piano theory, technique, they get one or two pages a week in each one, depending on how they're practicing and how they're doing and progressing. This book right here, this is memory work and metronome work. You'll notice across the top, scales, arpeggios, chords, finger exercises, everything in here has to be done with a metronome, and they do test out on this. This particular book is just for information's sake, this particular book, they have to do the entire book at 150, and that prevents them from slowing down and trudging through things that they don't know. In order to play this at 150, they have to know it. And usually by the time we get done working through the book, with all of the assignments, cycling through it, most of my students almost have this book memorized. So that this book they'll see by level 2. If they're by level 2, all of them will get it. If they're younger, especially level 2. If they're older or they're a more aggressive student, they're going to get it earlier, level 1 maybe. So then we go to the second section in their assignment sheet. This is during the lesson. I have ear training. This is where they listen to a note that's being played on the piano. They try to find the note and play the note back, and they get a score there. We listen to seconds, thirds, and intervals, seconds, thirds, fourths, fifths. We listen to those. The younger students, we listen to whether the music goes up the piano or down the piano. We listen for repeat notes, skip notes, neighbor notes, whatever is applicable to their age group. And then flashcards. I have note naming where they name, then they graduate to name and play. Then I have key signature notes. There's several layers of arpeggio or chord where they learn the major, then the minor, then the diminished, then the augmented, then they have major sevenths and sevenths, and they learn all of those. Each one of those advancements gets highlighted on my Facebook page, Teacher Kim's Student Spotlight, so you can check that out. Then the solos is this line a day sight reading. In the line a day sight reading, wherever they left off from the week before, in the lower levels, there's a name it, play it section. They have to name the note and play it. And then down at the bottom, we talk quickly about time signatures, key signatures. We look for accidentals. They get one rhythm hit, and then they have to play it. And this is how I judge how they're doing with what their ability is, because there's 3 different levels that we play at. We play at our sight reading level is definitely going to be a lower level than our day-to-day weekly lesson time, and then our project music ability is generally 1 up. So like for all of these examples here, this particular student is in level 2, so they may be sight reading at a level 1 and practicing and working a weekly level 2, but their project lesson would be level 3. So the music in the sight reading, it's never difficult. It's never anything that they need to fret about or stress about. It's just 1 line or two lines depending on the age group. And then I have rhythms and rests where they read a line of music and they have to count it for me. They clap and they count, and it gets all the way up into clapping and counting 16th notes. And they get one line and they get a minute. I do not give them rhythm hints on this, though. They have to be able to figure out this. And again, the sight reading is generally a year below whatever it is that they're practicing at. And that's it. Oh, theory. So this book right here, we work together during lesson time on this. They study right in front of me. They read the instructions and they fill in the blanks. And this is how I tell where they're at in their ability to recall what we've studied. These books, I generally pick them up after they've advanced beyond the information that's in this book. So it's like a review. All they have to do is read the instructions and then move through. And usually it's about a page a lesson. And quarterly we go through genres. We have favorite classics. So 3 months out of the year we work on classic music. This is your Brahms, Beethoven, Bach, Mozart, and some of the other not so high profile composers. So we do that 1 quarter a year. 1 quarter a year we do piano recital solos. These are unique pieces that they won't be able to recognize. They're originals. The composer of the series that I use composes the solos in here. They work on them, and these they do perform at our spring recital. And then we have the pop piano styles. The kids really like this. There's a little bit of everything in here. There's ragtimes, there's blues, there's ragtime blues, there's rock, there's even some outdated boogie woogie in here or whatever. And the kids really enjoy the fun of the rhythms. It's a lot of work for the left hand and a lot of work on accidentals. Last, we have our duets. Everybody gets assigned a duet book. And the duet books go all the way up to level 10. They work through them. These they start at level 1 and they go through them. They don't get to jump up.